zoom in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm glad to see so many beautiful faces. Strong Gallaudet women. Basketball support. Thank you. I'd like to ask for a moment of silence for Rhonda Johnson, our teammate who's passed away. Ben Baylor, who's passed away, and Mary Thuman, my partner, who was an avid supporter of our team. So I'd like to ask for a moment of silence, please. I know that wasn't quite a minute. I do have an internal clock for different time tracks, but thank you for that. We're also going to light a candle tonight for the 3 people who couldn't be with us. I think they're set right under a fan, but hopefully they'll stay.
So we're going to start by sharing some remarks about Rhonda.
For all the tears.
When I first met Rhonda, she had an amazing love for the sport of basketball. She showed it on and off the court. She would always have a basketball with her everywhere she went. Yeah, I think her as a roommate, I can tell you that she did have a basketball.
Well, really, when this team came in as freshmen and were with me for 4 years, Ben was the coach and I was 11. And then that second year, I was a coach by myself. Then this team was about juniors. And Ben came back as an unpaid volunteer for the entire season. His time, the away games, being coach on the floor, all of that was volunteer because of his love for Gallaudet, his love for the women's basketball team, his love for these players that are in the room, and he was willing to do that without pay. Ben was my backup. And tonight, I had a list of things that I wanted to say. And I can't find my paper. I think it's at home. So, and that's because I didn't have Ben. If Ben was here, Ben would have had that list for me. And I don't have Mary either. So now I have to become more responsible. And that's what I always told my players. I always tell them they need to be more responsible. So now I have to, to do it myself. So really to Ben, his attitude, his love for the sport, his positivity, I just want to say thank you, Ben.
Even when we practice, she always stayed in her role, and I absolutely want her. She was very good to us. She was one of our greatest fans and best careers.
I have to say that Katie did a good job as a coach. Quite a lot. And I have to say that Mary, I just want to know that she was so consistent, and she knew who we were. I mean, it was a lot more than we did ourselves.
here as well. And the Gallaudet alumni. It's a big honor to have our provost here as well. Welcome. And our president, President Bach. These are extremely inspiring people, and I share this extremely inspiring. I don't think Gallaudet's female athletics department or state would be where it's at without their hard work and drive, their commitment, and their representation to other female athletes to come beyond them. It is truly amazing. And you can see the result of their hard work here with us today with our current women's basketball team. So we want to sincerely thank you for the outstanding role models that you have who graduated from Gallaudet on the amazing life, and now we have our current students here to emulate the amazing work that goes on. Hope you enjoy this evening, and please welcome President Bach.
Wow, what an honor to be here this evening as president of Gallaudet. One of my favorite books, I have to say, is Deaf Girls Rule. This actually who started this at Gallaudet? It wasn't me. There's an amazing women's basketball team that actually led this whole mantra of Deaf Girls Rule. You have led us to believe many things very positive about being women. You set a record that no one at Gallaudet has beaten ever since in the last 25 years. I was talking with Kitty earlier, and she was giving me the background and telling me the story, and I realized that nobody has ever broken your record to date. For the men's team or the women's team, they have not been able to successfully do what you have accomplished 25 years ago. So congratulations for that. And to the fans and family members who are here, the women who are a part of the women's basketball team that will be competing, friends, and everyone else around the room, you are all people who have supported this team, and you are continuing to support them during the celebration. Thank you for coming to make tonight so special and honoring these extraordinary women, that what they have accomplished 25 years ago. I don't even think that they look 25 years older. But again, congratulations to all of you. You know what impressed me so much is that you have come back home. Some of you still live close, where this is considered to be home. Some of you actually live quite far away, but you came back to join us for this wonderful celebration and all that you had accomplished as a team. So thank you for coming back home. It means a great deal that you're giving the community something to celebrate, for us to acknowledge all that you have accomplished, and the wonderful place that Gallaudet is that allows people to believe what is truly possible. Now with the book, Deaf Girls Rule, I bought it when it was on eBay, and it was actually an autographed copy. And this was years ago when I was living in Minnesota, well before I even could imagine becoming president of Gallaudet. And I had it up on the shelf in my office, and I have enjoyed the story from this book ever since. It is a constant reminder for what women can do. We need to constantly be reminded about what deaf women can do, and sports is one way that women can tell their story. You know, I'm a coach's daughter myself, after all, and saying as my father taught me the importance of sports and helping to develop our confidence, and I'm looking around at the room here with this team and what you are already doing. You are leaders in your workspaces, in your communities, not in just basketball. You have also been leaders in many different ways. I mean, it's just so unbelievable. And coaches make a big difference in our success. They make us and they break us. And I wanted just to take a moment to acknowledge Kitty for serving as coach and bringing this group back together again for us to celebrate. So thank you, Kitty. And I'm very mindful of the fact that people are hungry. Looking at my watch, it's 6:17. For some people, it's way too late. So, with that, I would like to close by saying, let's just give our last round of applause to celebrate them, and we'll hear more of their stories after dinner. And I am so looking forward to hearing all of your stories that are going to continue to inspire us tonight. All right, another round of applause to the women.
Thank you.
All right, we got everyone's attention. We're going to continue this evening. We're going to pause our dinner for a moment.
But it keeps like, it's not staying.
All right, we'll wait a moment for everyone to finish their conversations. Give you guys just a second to kind of wrap up what you're talking about. All right, if we're ready. Now, I'm not up here because I am most important. It's just an alphabetical order. So my last name starts with a C, so I am first. You guys get to deal with me first. I'm used to that. Okay, so the video that you just watched. Do you guys remember? Thank you. Thank you so much to Brian Biffus for hosting that video. So thank you, Brian, for making that video possible from the first round of the NCAA tournament. I think you had to convert it from VHS, is that right? And posted it to Google Drive and then to YouTube. So thank you, Brian. So there was actually 4 games in that tournament, and Brian and us, we picked that one because obviously it was the best game. It was the most memorable one, and we had this chair here remembering the first round game. And we actually stole this chair from the tournament. So at this point, we're going to take the opportunity to share some memories from the team. And as Bobby mentioned, we obviously had our time. We had an amazing season, but our legacy has continued. Some of us continue to have gone on to coach and work in the field, worked in the sport, and we're going to share some of our favorite memories of our time as players. So I'm from Minnesota. I would follow the rest of the players to Minnesota. Maybe we should have gone to Sweden instead. So I teach ASL at a school in Minnesota, in St. Paul, and I've been there for now almost 11 years. I see some of my coworkers here this evening. Nanette and I also, we used to work together. It's nice to have my Minnesota family here in the workplace and here at Gallaudet. We have such a large basketball family, and we like to stay close and stay connected. Making sure the interpreter is keeping up with me okay. So I'd like to share one of my favorite memories from our season. So usually people talk about the championship games. So you know about, of course, what happens on the court, but not so much about what happens off the court. So I think we went to Pennsylvania, I believe. Now, I'm not going to be the best at remembering the times and locations. I'm old at this point, so I will try my best. But I want to say it was in Gettysburg in Pennsylvania. So we were posted up at a hotel, or no, we're on the bus. I think we're on the bus going to Pennsylvania. Now, usually bus rides are very long, especially going to Pennsylvania. It's about 2 hours away. Ron Joe obviously is the one who's going to solve all of our problems whenever we're bored. So Rhonda was talking about, and Kitty, our coach. Kitty gets really scared very easily. She's an amazing coach, but kind of a scaredy cat. So what we decided to do was Ron and Joe volunteered to, it used to be in the buses, they'd have the luggage rack. So on the top, there would be this huge luggage cage that goes to the very front of the bus. So Rhonda crawled up on the luggage rack. Now I have to tell you, if this, let's say something happened. If it happened nowadays, you maybe take a video with your phone or something like that. But back then we didn't have phones, so we just watched Rhonda crawl up in this luggage rack. And she didn't yell boo or anything. What she did was she just fell out of the luggage rack right in front of Kitty, like a dead body being dropped from the ceiling. Now you see, Kitty's pretty small, so you could barely see her head. And it looked like she was 6'6" all of a sudden. We scared the pants off each other. All right.
but I'm so happy that you guys can see me and that I can contribute to some memories and some of the things that I've been, holding on, some of the memories we've had for over 20 years. My name's Amelia, and I played with you in 1998, 1999. I now live in Spartansburg, South Carolina. I'm an ASL teacher at Spartansburg Community College. One of my favorite memories, well, two things really, was really, I got on that team at the right time. And so some of the best memories for me were getting to play. I was a bench player, and then I finally got to play in the third round, and I scored 7 points, and that's one of the best memories I have. I can show you a few things that I still have from 25 years ago. I have a book. I have this book. And I've got a framed picture of our team. It was one of the best times of my life. And this is me sitting on the rim. Do you think it looks like me? I've also got one of the tickets. My dad came to watch me play. So this was the first round ticket, and then the white ticket was the third round ticket, I think. And I love this. Really, I was 40, not 42, but I love number 42. But then I actually ended up having to be 40, but I got this one 42. So it's one of the things that I could use when my uniform was in the wash. Thanks so much. I miss you all.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shanae Schwartz. So I'm also in Minnesota. Minnesota is my home. I have 4 kids. I work as a teacher. I've been the last 7 years home with my kids and have started working again as a teacher. I work with Deaf Plus kids. One of my favorite memories from our time, this was 25 years ago, and honestly I've forgotten a lot about it during that time, but what I enjoyed most was getting to go to the games because we had a lot of time together as a team, and we could talk about so many different things and topics, and it was great to connect with the team. And it's so funny because I have a memory of my sister Rhonda Jo. I know many people didn't have the opportunity to know her like I did, but I was very fortunate to get to know her so well and be so close with her. And obviously, Rhonda is a bit of a jokester during practices, and people would kind of sometimes get annoyed with her because she wouldn't take it very seriously, and she would intentionally throw the ball and have it bounce off your foot and go out or stuff like that. And she was always, she would say, "Oh, sorry, I forgot to communicate with my foot," or something like that. And so we'd ask her, "Did you talk to your foot already? Make sure that you're not going to hit your foot and go to bounce." So she was always a jokester. And my daughter plays, she's on the Gallaudet team. And so we're so looking forward to tomorrow's game, and so glad that she's also in this sport that I love so much.
Minnesota as the ASL director for both deaf and blind kids in Faribault, Minnesota. I've been doing that for 18 years. I also taught in the classroom before that for a long time. And now I am overseeing the ASL program, Student Life program. And I have 2 kids in 3rd grade and kindergarten, and they are both deaf, and they're here. Why don't you guys come on up? I hope these 2 are future basketball players for Gallaudet. You want to tell them your names real fast? Come here, just say your name.
My name is Grace.
My name is Lobelia. This is my 3rd grader and my kindergartner. They both love sports already, which makes me thrilled. You know, when I had both kids, I remember just thinking, oh, please, make them athletes. And they both love sports, so I'm thrilled. I have a ton of memories from 25 years ago. One of the best memories was when the fans would come to see us when we would come into the gym. I was always the last player, and the house would be full during that tournament, and it was thrilling. And then one thing I remember about Ben, who's our assistant coach who passed away, that he was responsible for the record holding, post players. Where are those tall people? Who else was tall? Jessica. And Ben usually worked with us. And do you remember what Ben used to say? If you make it, do something. And Ben used to do this, automatic. And so I remember like throwing it behind me, and it would go in, and he would make that sign and go, automatic. So I remember, I haven't taken a look at that book in 20 years, but when I was flying here, I started looking through it again, and I actually found that it's actually written in the book, the part when Ben would go, automatic.
So I want to share. There's nothing on the screen actually, because in 98 and 99, I think there was 3 of us that were freshman players. So the 3 of us were the only freshmen on the team. Everyone else was an upperclassman. So at that time, we didn't have an actual description or anything part of it that go with our picture. So about me. So I teach at Gallaudet. I still live in DC. I teach communications studies, and I love it. I love my work. I love my position. I get to see people like our current Gallaudet's women's basketball team do amazing things every year, and so I feel very fortunate to be here. And I'm so glad I get to be where I am. And I attend all of our sporting events on campus. So I have to share my favorite memory from our time. I mean, there are so many, like you said, it was a long time ago also, so I've forgotten some things, but one thing that definitely has not changed that I still remember to this day was how much I always wanted to be with my team. I felt the most fortunate person to be on the team just because I got to connect with my team. And I had many friends growing up, and I found not many people that were exactly like me. And so I loved the camaraderie with the team, the connection that we had. We got to go to practice together and spend evenings together and just live and breathe together. And I still want to be with my team to this day. So I've always considered myself so fortunate to be part of such an amazing team.
Thanks to my husband, who just found this. I did not realize, this is from Lynn Ray. Did you guys see this on the video? I look so with this thing on. Now it seems so weird. I'm gonna see if I can, remember I had this on my leg. And now they've told me I only have 3 minutes to talk. How do I even get it on? Oh well. So anyway, he gave this to me for luck today for getting up on stage. I have a couple of things I want to talk about, so 3 minutes is not enough, FYI. So I have them written down so I don't forget. Okay. 25 years later, how do I sum that up? I work at Gallaudet. Oh, well, sorry, let me back up. I work at MSSD. That taught me a lot. I started my coaching career, so thank you to MSSD for that. Then I started working at Gallaudet as an assistant coach from 2011 to 2012, remember that? Then went to Maryland School, and now I live in Frederick, Maryland. And I have created a beautiful family. I have 2 beautiful sons. Man, I wish I had a girl. I have 2 beautiful boys. You guys want to stand up? So, and thank you to my husband who convinced me to stay in America. You know, my husband and Ray. So of course I have a beautiful family here, but I still love Sweden. I come from a very big family. I have 9 brothers and sisters there. And this year we ended up having 4 different Swedes. And so they're here, who really are the people who got me to come to Gallaudet. Oh. Okay, next one. Practices. Lockers. The travel. The scrimmages. And Jenny Cooper, and the fans, and our sponsors. Thank you to Kitty for setting that up. That's how I got really close to Carlene and Randy. I feel so blessed. They are my family here in the U.S. The Bison backers. Practices. I can remember Kitty. I know I'm over my 3 minutes. Kitty loved being so specific. Kitty would talk. After practice, we would be like, okay, she would be like, practice not over. Because practice not 2 hours, practice is 2 hours and 30 minutes. Or maybe even 3 hours. And she would go down into the minute details of what we talked about. Sometimes I remember like nobody else was left but thank you Ben and Kitty, because we had to get to the cafeteria with like just a few minutes left because our practice was not over on time. Kitty loved to talk. Those lockers, that was like our home. The locker room was like our home. Oh, we had the best time just cracking up and just cracking up in those lockers. And, even when Kitty wasn't in there, but man, when we went to the away games, if Kitty was in there, she would get so annoyed. Because we would be like cracking and joking on each other in the showers, and we would all be messing with each other. And I don't remember who it was one away game, and Kitty had to come in to the showers and come in, and we were all in there taking a shower, cracking on each other, and Kitty was like, stop it, other people are waiting, get out. And we were like, oh, sorry. Do you remember that? I had a third one. Oh, the travel. How much did they give you to go on travel? Did they give you $15? I'm testing them. Do you know, try to think about what we got for our per diem. What do you think?
$5?
Close. 7. We got $7. It was for dinner. It was cash. It was cash money. I remember Kitty handing us the cash of $7. We were so excited. Do you remember what we got? We would stop at 7-Eleven. Do you remember what we got? And we would go to Wendy's. Think about what imagine, so just appreciate what you have, girls. Okay, and scrimmages. Guess who would be against us for that scrimmage? Guess who it would be? The boys team, the men's team. Or also the boys who were PE majors, who would come and scrimmage against us. And they gave us a hard time. Do you remember that? So they were so good. They were so good for scrimmaging with us. And I remember one would play dirty, would like try to grab us or pinch our leg, and we would get mad. But they pushed us to a higher level. I know I'm over my time. And my excuse. Okay. I just have to tell a story about Jenny. I remember it was one of our away games. We were in a hotel, and we would, like she said, we would always talk about everything, a million different topics. And Jenny's proof right here, her beautiful ASL, really, we were all just like, we couldn't stop watching. So proof is right here. We were all like, okay, keep talking, tell us more. And she would have different stories about the field house. And the field house wasn't, it was kind of dusty, kind of dark. She would start telling this story about the field house and how it was hard to get in. And then she walked in and there was one light behind her and it looked like a spotlight right on her. Remember that? And we were creeped out. And we were like, I hope we make it so that we have more games, and we did. Okay, and the last one, the fans and the Bison backers. It's really true. Without you, and without the people who couldn't come, having you there was electric. We had to focus on the game. We couldn't pay attention to the fans the whole time. But without you behind us, we couldn't have gone that far. And look at the fans here. We have a full house tonight. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. And sorry I went over my time.
That's me. I look pretty young in that picture. Shit, it's weird seeing it again. All right, so I came from Sweden. I flew in yesterday, and I actually go back home on Sunday. I'm heading back. I'm only here for 4 days. I think it's 4 days, right? It's 4 days. But I'm so happy to be here. It's nice to be here at my home. Where I started playing basketball. And I owe Gallaudet a lot, and basketball and the team a lot. So currently, I work at NAD in Sweden. I've been there for the last 3 years. Before that, I worked at a sports association in Sweden for 12 years. So sports has always been a part of my life and a big part of my heart. I have so many memories, too many to really count, of our time together as a team. But there is one thing, I think mostly the fans. The fans that we would see at the game were truly amazing. And Tari and I are the 2 Swedish players that were on the team. And sometimes, we would just switch to our native language, in Sweden, and we would say something in Swedish on accident. We'd be in the heat of the moment and try to explain something, and I can't remember what we were trying to say, but we would come out in Swedish. And everyone else didn't understand what we were saying and the fans didn't understand us too. It was just me and Taria. So I remember sometimes, it happened so many times. It came out in Swedish. That's our language, that's how we think, and I'm sure everyone knows that, and it's a big part of our life. So thank you all for coming this evening. I'm so glad to be here.
Hi everyone, I'm Jenny Stack. And, I was also on the bench during that season because I hurt my knee right after Christmas. So I really tried my best to support the team as a player. I recorded every game. And then really I learned so much on this team, on and off the court. Like a lot of people have said, boy, our travel, we really got up to it. Some of the things that happened. And really, when I joined the team, that I was like, what's going on? There's 2 players from Sweden here. It was overwhelming to be on the team and try to learn, everybody's signing was totally different. I didn't understand their Swedish signing. And now I work for the government. I've worked in the government. I live in Baltimore, Maryland for the last 14 years, and I live in Frederick. And I'm also involved in triathlon competitions. I'm actually going to the national championship in Texas this spring. I qualified. And I qualified for Worlds in the fall.
Okay, so first I have to answer my brother Sean's question. He texted me about the chair here, and he asked what the story behind the chair was. So Sean, just hang on for a minute. I'll get to the story behind the chair. But before that, I'll introduce myself. My name is Nanette Vernick. I'm in Minnesota now. I teach at the Metro Deaf School. I teach in the 345 department. I have 2 memories. Yeah, it's still Minnesota. Yeah, you see my Minnesotans. So I have 2 memories that I wanted to share. So the first one was of Ron and Joe, and I can't remember who talked about our locker room being our home. So you guys know trash talk. We would trash talk to each other, and I remember there was this one time where we were playing racquetball, and we got really into racquetball. Now I don't know if you guys know this, Gallaudet team members are banned from playing other sports. We can't go out and ski, we can't ice skate, we can't do any types of other activities because they don't want us to accidentally get hurt. But they didn't say we couldn't play racquetball. So that was the thing we found, kind of a loophole, and we were able to play racquetball. So Ron, Joe, and I were against each other, and we were trying to figure out who was the better racquetball player. And I remember this was right before the game. We were in uniform, we were about to go warm up, and we decided, we had 40 minutes before the game started. And everyone went up, and the opposing team was already out warming up, but we were missing some people. And they couldn't figure out where the team was. And so Ron, Joe, and I had decided to play a quick game of racquetball. And we were in our uniforms. And I remember we would dive for the ball. We were really going at it. And the rest of the team is outside the courts watching, just cheering us on. And I think we had maybe 20 minutes left in the warm-up. Is that right, Kitty? And Kitty came down to try to find us and found out that we were playing racquetball. And we were just making so much noise. And she's like, you gotta get out. We need to go warm up. And you know what happened? We won that game. Isn't that right? Oh, we did. I can assure you, we won the game, Kitty. So that was the first story. The second one, this one's about Kitty. So Kitty was so, we were so close on and off the court, and we would annoy Kitty to no end just because we would give each other such a hard time during practice. It was obviously kind of friendly and, there was some love behind it, but on the surface, Kitty would always get on us about how we talked to each other and not being so hard on each other and things like that. And I remember I think you and I were together, Jessica, and I accidentally hit her in the other's arms, and I remember we went to Kitty and we're like, are we getting better? Is this better than how we were? Right, and then she called the boys to come scrimmage against us to make it fair.
Am I last? My name's Jessica. I work at MSSD. I'm the IEP coordinator. And my best memory, I have so many, but that year I was a senior. I'd been on the team for all 4 years. And really, I had so many friends. I developed friendships on and off the court, and we're still friends today. We still keep in touch. It's a very special group. I have a husband and 2 kids. My girls are not here. One's actually playing a basketball game right now. She wanted to come. I told her, you gotta be at the game. And my other is in practice for regional championships on Monday. So I love you all. Thank you for coming. The fans meant so much to us. Really, even I remember just coming into the gym for the game and seeing that, the house be full with fans was just amazing.
So as everyone has already said, it's an honor to be here with the team, and especially be back on campus this week. So I'm one of the 4 Sweets, but I have not gone back to Sweden. I actually moved to California instead, and stayed in the States. I know you guys miss me back home in Sweden. I'm married. I have 2 kids. One is 16 and one is 12. I work at the Fremont School for the Deaf at CSD. And so my best memory, or my favorite memories from the team, of course, Rhonda Jo. There's always a story about Rhonda Jo. She just would always bring so much humor to us. And I remember the bus story. That was a good one. And there's so many Rhonda Jo stories, but she would always come up with different ways of making us laugh. So traveling, we would always have to go out to eat. And usually, I don't know if Kitty remember, we would get so much different ketchup and toppings and things like that. We had so many condiments. And I think we had so many silly things that we would add to our food. And it was just such a wonderful time with the team. So thank you so much.
So glad to be here tonight. I live in Massachusetts for almost 23 years. We're best friends. We're going to do this together. I live in Massachusetts for almost 23 years. I'm a deaf interpreter. I have a boy who's in his 20s and a girl who's 16. I was a manager back at that time. Once I was a senior, I actually hurt my knee. So I couldn't play that year, so they asked me to be a manager, and it was such an honor to do that. And I can tell you, this team was crazy. This team was crazy. I remember just being on the bus, all the things they were doing on the bus, I couldn't even sit still. I was bouncing in my seat in the bus and be like, oh, come on. And we would be like, who's doing that? And then we would get the flashlight out and be like, who is it? Who is it? And then we were filming the game and we were watching all the things that they were doing, but we had to make sure we were filming it too.
Yeah, so I live in Sweden. I do work at a deaf club in Stockholm. And I'm sure you've heard some of the stories of the things that we got up to, some pretty devious things. I remember one of our away games. It was, we were staying at a hotel, and Kitty was tired, and she told us that we had to, she was trying to watch us, and we would run around the hallway. She said, well, okay, we're done, we're done for the night. And I think, I wasn't sure if she let us get away with a little bit more that night, but we were playing around, and I remember one of the guys, Jeff Wolf, came in and opened the door, and we were in shorts, like basketball shorts and things like that, but no top. And so we were like teasing, and we started like flexing and like standing all ridiculous. And we forgot that Kitty was actually in the next door. And so Kitty heard something happening and opened the divider and was like, "What are you doing? Get to bed." I think it was maybe there was 3 of us. And she kept us on our toes. So we made, we weren't supposed to do that, but we didn't really do our job very well. So.
Love you, Kitty.
So sometimes Toria would talk about us using Swedish Sign Language, and we would switch into Swedish Sign Language. And one thing was we needed glasses. So the officials were upset with us. And so Kitty would say, "No, she didn't say that. She said something else. She's using Swedish Sign Language." And would explain to the ref that, "Oh, it's a different sign. It's a cultural thing. They weren't signing anything inappropriate." But it was the way we got away with it. So we would end up using some maybe not appropriate language, but it was in Swedish Sign Language. So the ref never busted us. So I'm sure you remember those times.
And, when we would get upset and they started talking in Swedish, I would say, "Tell me what they're saying." And so she would keep me in the loop. And really, I felt like it was a code. And I forgot most of it now, but I remember trying to learn that code. But you guys are all in my heart. I love you.
Okay, that was all of the Sweet 16 original players, and now we would like to introduce our current Gallaudet women's basketball team. We know they love basketball just as much as we did back then, and they have come to Gallaudet to play basketball, and I'm sure they have a wonderful team, a wonderful spirit, and we look forward to seeing them play tomorrow. I do want to share one thing. So my daughter is a player on the basketball team. Gallaudet, which is not something I expected, but it's wonderful to see the next generation continuing to love the sport. And her number is 21. Do you guys know why her number is 21? So mine was 20, and so my sister's was 22, and my daughter picked 21 because that was the only one that was available. So she picked the one in between us. So now I would like to welcome our women's basketball team. I guess we asked special permission for me to explain. So I was born in '93, so I was 6 at the time. I think, who else was born? Yeah, Cam was born in '99. Hi everyone, it's been such a pleasure this evening to see some of the memories. And so I was 6 years old when this happened. Not that I have many memories, but I remember a little bit older, we talk about the Sweet 16 team, and over the years I was able to meet some of the players from the original team. And I think you actually were part of my camp when I was a kid, Ron and Joe. And so thank you so much for sharing your stories. My name is Claire. I'm a graduate student at Gallaudet. I did my undergraduate a while ago, and I actually came back. So I turned 30 in December, and I think this is the best team in any sport, and this is such a special and unique team. It's wonderful to meet you all, and I'm so excited to be here with your team.
Hi, my name is Mariah. This is my first year here, and I'm playing basketball.
Hi, my name is Michaela. I'm a senior. Now, this is my first year on the basketball team.
Hi, I'm CJ, and this is my last year on the team. I'm a 5th year student.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm a 2nd year student.
Hi, I'm Kate, and this is my 2nd year playing basketball.
Hi, I'm Cam, and it's my first year on the team.
Hi, I'm Sienna. I'm a freshman.
This is my first year. Hi, I'm Crystal. I'm the other CJ, and this is my 3rd year at Gallaudet, but my 2nd year on the team. Hi, my name is Anna. I'm a 4th year student, and I'm 2nd year on the team, and I'm currently a senior. Hi, I'm Raj. Much love to you all. I love seeing the original Sweet 16 team. I've had a lot of good laughs tonight. Oh, and I'm sorry, I'm a third year. Let me stand up here. I'm a senior in my third year and playing next year. Looking forward to a great season next year. Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming. I've had a lot of laughs seeing the original team, and I love seeing the stories and your connection, and it's been wonderful to witness. I'm Amelia. I played for Gallaudet for 4 years, and then unfortunately I did graduate, and now I'm on to being the assistant coach. Hi everyone, my name is Leslie Kang. I graduated from Gallaudet. I'm an alumni, and I'm the assistant coach with our amazing head coach. Oh, and one more thing. I also played with with Claire at the same time, so we were at the same year. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's definitely a special honor for us to be here this evening. To witness that team be here is very inspiring. It always gives me chills to know about that team, and we've heard so many things about you, and this is such a wonderful event. My name is Stephanie. I'm the coach. I've been coaching here for 11 years already. And this is for sure the best team we have ever had at Gallaudet. We are incredibly proud of this team. We are so excited for you, for your Sweet 16 team to come and watch us play tomorrow. I'm sure and I'm hoping that you will be very proud of us. Thank you so much for our sponsors. Thank you for everyone who is here tonight and for those who are watching from afar to celebrate this amazing, legendary team. Thank you, everyone. I also want to mention they have set a standard that has yet to be matched, and we have worked incredibly hard. And we want to thank you so much for setting such a high standard, and we want to look forward to seeing your future daughters on our team. It's wonderful to see the legacy continue past generations.
I just want to add something. I don't know if you guys realize or not, but we actually have 2 records. The players are here, top points and top rebounds in Gallaudet history in this room. Rhonda Joe and CJ. My first basketball role model is right there. Rhonda Jo was my teacher. I was under her as a student. And then, of course, every time we played horse, I lost. But I just, just knowing that she had been on that Gallaudet's basketball team and, proved that deaf people can do it, it inspired my whole life. And then I went to high school with CJ, and then again here at Gallaudet. And really, she's one of the best players I've ever played with. Your sense of the game, the challenges, your sportsmanship, nothing could replace playing with you. They're both right here in this room.
So, we do have a dessert. This is from our sponsor. It's a deaf-owned business, so they have made some delicious desserts for us. It's a delicious cheesecake. And it's called Cakes by Chelsea. And so we're going to take a moment to do a picture with both teams, and then we look forward to the game tomorrow. So hopefully you can join us for that. So if we can have a Sweet 16 team come up, and then for everyone else, yep, there is a dessert available. We're going to do a quick photo. If you'd like to go ahead and grab your dessert, you're welcome to. The dessert table is at the back by the bar.
Oh, it's one of the players mentioned brother-in-law. Asking about the chair. He's probably watching. I don't know where though. Me too. I don't remember it very well.
Okay, everyone. All right, can you tap your neighbors? Thank you so much. Hopefully everyone enjoyed your cupcakes. Okay, we'd now like to welcome 3 of our coaches.
Our 3 coaches here are Hillel, Carl Kramick, and Chuck.
Hi everyone, my name is Chuck. I work currently at NSSD. I worked there for 24 years. I also have a painting job on the side. I know some of my clients are here. So I may have painted your houses. It's great to see some of my clients. And if you need painting services, feel free to reach out to me. So I do the stats for the women's team. I'm a scorekeeper as well as track all the stats at the games. I go to all practices and games. I record all free throws and I keep track of all of their runs. And if it was less than 50%, they would have to run as punishment. And then usually at the end, I would give him a heads up just the last kind of couple minutes of it. So I really enjoyed being a part of this team for the last 25 years. I love the game of basketball. I have worked in various elements of the field of sports and athletics, and it's wonderful that you guys are all here today, wherever you are in your journey. I know some people came from very far, some people came all the way from Sweden to be here this evening. Much love to you all, I'm so glad you're all here.
Hi everyone. I'm Hillel Goldberg. This is my name sign. I'm retired from Gallaudet after 32 years. Now, sometimes I volunteer at the Deaf Club, but at that time people called me Rabbi because I led the ASL High Holidays, the Sabbath, and bar mitzvahs and everything. So I also do that in ASL. I have many good memories of the women's basketball team, really too many to count, but I'm thinking of 2 are my favorite. You know, most of the time I was, doing sports with Kitty. We were, communicating something every day that was going on. So see if you can catch what I am doing now. What was that? Ole was right, what? Also, what else? Was OLLEH is hello backwards? And if we wanted to talk privately, we would always finger spell backwards. Remember that, Kitty? Because if you finger spell backwards, other people don't catch it. So if we had something private to say, or also something we thought might offend someone, we would finger spell backwards. Now, my second one is, sometimes at away games, I remember one team was really impressed with the Gallaudet women's team, and they were like, wow, y'all are fast. You guys are amazing. And there was one guy who came up and wanted to talk to Kitty. And he said, how are these women so fast? What's your secret? And Kitty said, and you know, Kitty is famous for those quick responses. And the person who asked, Kitty said, well, you know, boys and girls are, you know, it depends on how they're raised, right? How would you raise a boy? And the man went on and on about what he would do if he had a boy. And if he had a girl, what he would do. And Kitty said, you know how you just explained what you would do? Why would it be different? Why wouldn't you raise a boy and a girl to run the same way? That's how you raise the bar for girls. And that's one thing I remember to this day.
Hi, I'm Carl. I'm not the assistant coach, but I do have a story to share about the Sweet 16 team. So back at that time, I was actually working in student affairs, and currently I work in student affairs. Somehow I'm still here, 39 years later. So back then, this was 98, started that year. So my story actually started with Kitty. So Kitty started way before there. She was previously a coach at a different school, right, in Indiana. And so Kitty left to go work as a coach in Indiana. They had a pretty good team. They had some history behind them, and there was an assistant coach. I was an assistant coach for a period of time. And then there was a little bit of a dip in their performance when I was involved with the team, and I think there were some games where we really had a hard time getting across the half-court line when we were being pressed. We really had a tough time with that. Now we were trying to really inspire our team, with different techniques and things like that. And I've seen the lows and I've seen the highs, and that was an example of one of the lows. And so there was an evening. So there was an in, middle, and out. So I remember there was, we had our Swedish players come, and there was a tournament that we played in California. They had friends from Sweden who came to watch the game and watched them make a three-point shot. And it turns out that was Korea. So we went to the Kirkland, New York tournament. Because there was a volleyball team. There was a volleyball team. There was a lot of players.
So a lot of kids from the volleyball team were also playing basketball. So at that time, we had some kids sitting on the bench. Remember this? You guys were sitting there. And then you came in, and I'd say, you guys did the best job I've ever seen on defense. You got all the rebounds, and we only lost by 2. We only lost by 2. And really, it was a wild game. And I remember, really, we even had a game again right after that, and we were sitting on the bench, and then we finally got to play, and we had a sub come in who ended up being the MVP, and then we ended up being 3rd in that tournament from a sub. So really, I remember we shared that story, and that story went wild. Everybody was talking about it. And really, with anything that happened, if you have the right chemistry, the right players, the right spirit, really, even, I feel like you guys can still feel the vibe that that team has today. They had that vibe back then. They had the chemistry, and that kind of bond is powerful. And you know, a lot of times in practice, Kitty would get frustrated and be like, come on girls, come on, you can do it. But from what they're saying now and what they remember, you can really see that vibe. And one of the best memories I have, I'd say, are during the games at St. Mary's. There was a game at Marymount. And really, I don't remember one of those players. They had a great player on the team. And really, there were so many people from there in the stands from Gallaudet. And it was, the home games would be full. But, the girls would play first, and of course, then the stands would be full for the girls' game, and then the boys' game would be next, and there would barely be anybody in the stands. And then after a while, different context sometimes is different, and there's nobody in the stands for the girls, and now more people come to see the boys. But at that time, the stands were full for the girls. And at that college in New Jersey, we ended up getting second. They were ranked second nationally, and after our girls played that game, I remember talking to Hillel, nobody's going to beat them, nobody's beat that team. And you never noticed, we're not talking anything about that next game, but this is the game. It is an honor. And for the current team, it's very special to get in. It requires commitment, it requires you have to believe, and that chance does not come often. Think 25 years and it hasn't happened to any other team. So just, take it while you can. Grab that chance and go for it.
Thank you so much to the coaches. We have one more person who's going to come up and share some remarks. And it is our favorite person. Any guesses? It's going to be Kitty.
All right, thank you all so much. Carl had just described some of the things that I was planning to say in my remarks. But I will start with the questions that I was asked. I had so many questions about this chair. People want to know about it. On the chair it says, St. Mary's, College of Maryland. And we're obviously at Gallaudet University and not at St. Mary's College of Maryland. But this chair actually showed up at my house one day at the end of the academic year in 1999 when the basketball team got together at my house for a cookout. I remember seeing this chair, and I have to say, the chair wasn't there right away, right at the get-go. They all showed up and they were busy doing their thing and talking with one another, remembering and reflecting on our year. Sweet 16 journey from the beginning of the year until the end, that last game, and then somebody props up this chair and my eyes almost fell out of my head. I thought somebody had stole this chair, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I have stolen property at my house, and the team was like, don't worry about it. Nobody even knows we took it. I'm like, well, I know now. What am I supposed to do? So what I did was, I went to talk to Rich, who was the AD at that time, and I said, can you please just let them know that, and I had asked if they paid for it, and I didn't know if they did, but I said, yes, just let them know that we owe them some money for taking one of their chairs. How'd they know? Ron Z. That's how they know. Of course it was Ron. It was Ron Z who told them. Right? Anyway, so at first I wasn't so sure about it, but I've come to love the chair. And I think that this is something I'm going to donate to Gallaudet's archives because this is a part of our history. And like so many people have shared already tonight about the journey, I mean, nothing starts from just 1 year alone. There's actually several years that it takes for you to be on this journey to get to that type of point. And with Therese, with Jessica, you know, people coming in their freshman year, we also had other players who had joined, but anytime a player had joined the team, they brought unique input that was key to the success of where we were. I mean, when you think about chemistry, like you have to make sure that everything is precise, because if one thing is off, I mean, that really messes up everything. And I have to say that our team was perfect. Similar to the dessert that we had this evening, and I hope you will enjoy that. I mean, again, you have to have the right ingredients necessary to make something perfect. In our time together, we all grew as a team. I have to say, when you see my hair, this actually grew gray a long time ago. I had to add color, and it was because of their behavior that got me gray. It was their antics that changed my hair color. So many things that I learned later on that I didn't know even happened at that time. Just thinking to myself after hearing about it, I'm like, thank God for saving me from some of those stories. You know, the real life of our basketball team. But we were actually viewed by our opponents as a threat. We were not viewed as a team that people thought they could beat. I've had coaches from various teams throughout my 29-year career of coaching, some who had phenomenal players on their team, and some who really didn't have the necessary skill, but had that passion and had that heart, and all the players gave 100%. Every opposing team knew that when they played Gallaudet, we were not going to stop until there was no time left on the clock, regardless of our talent. No game is over until the zeros hit the clock. You know, whether it was a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds, we would give our all every single time. And every coach that we had faced always said, you know, Gallaudet never quits. And our theme for that year was, do you all remember? Right. Refuse to lose. And I remember visiting with a friend in Massachusetts, and I went to an outlet store there. And I saw that they had this t-shirt that was the size of an extra large, which I thought was probably going to fit me, and come to find out it was my perfect size. And on it, it said refuse to lose, and it had a basketball graphic on it as well. And that ended up becoming our mantra for that year. And that was in 1998, 99. And we would roll up that t-shirt, and then they would use that to sub in and sub out of the game. And that t-shirt is now in the archives here at Gallaudet. It's somewhere in one of those several boxes that they have that I have donated to the archives. That shirt is in there with every player's signature. And that shirt is one that I had held for the right year. And every single year, we would have a theme. One year it was Aspire Higher. Another year, we had the theme or mantra, like there was a picture of FDR, the memorial, and above it said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. And that was a statement from FDR. And so our culture of basketball here at Gallaudet was tied to academics. Everything that we did was tied to our academics. And sometimes I would get on the players and tell them that they had to go to bed, that is true. And I think there was somebody who had said something about an early morning situation or event or incident. Anyway, you know, for me, I had a class at 8 o'clock, where I would teach at 8 a.m., so I was a full-time faculty member. I wasn't full-time coaching. I only was the part-time coach with what they had called a stipend that I was given to coach. It wasn't even a salary. It was a very small gift that was paying for maybe shoes, perhaps, for basketball, but the players ended up buying their own warm-up gear. Gallaudet did not give the players or any of us bags or warm-up equipment or even practice gear, and at the end of the year, they had to give back the clothes. So when you think about the team this year, I mean, count your blessings and enjoy all those freebies, because we definitely didn't have any of those freebies back then. And they're all just looking, wow, I didn't realize that that's what they get. Yeah, it's true. Anyway, I was also going to say that there would be times where we would experience issues with transportation. They talked about that one time that Rhonda Johnson had crawled up in the luggage racks. I mean, it was rare that we would even use that type of a bus. Most of the time, I mean, we had a bus that had what the Gallaudet Kendall School yellow school bus. And it would even say Kendall Demonstration Elementary School, and here we are pulling up to a university like, here we are, here's our team, we're ready to play it, right? And people are looking at the bus going, what in the world? After we would stop just in front of the gym and walk onto the court, people would kind of hide themselves, realizing that we had just gotten out of that bus and had to look into what Kendall Demonstration Elementary School was and how it was even affiliated with Gallaudet, which was good because it provided them something to do, a little research project for them to learn something. But, you know, there are so many individual stories about each individual player, and they all have a special place in my heart. And I know that you have a special place in Mary's heart as well. And we are all family. And I don't think that we will ever be anything other than that. I want to thank you for those 3 or 4 or 5 or even 6 years of those enjoyable experiences. Though there were frustrations, some things that had tested my patience, but you gave me such great joy, and I thank each and every one of you. And to our fans, all of you who had supported us throughout the years, during those lean years and some of our most outstanding years. I know Carl had mentioned Marymount that first year, that we had finally played them for the championship, and that was for the CAC. I know that prior to that, we had gotten close, but never made it, and the game was being held at Marymount. At that time, their gym was pretty small. You actually had the seating on the sides, but then you had a stage that was there as well, to where that's where the fans would sit. And at that game, it was happening at the end of February, and Marymount, it was actually their spring break at that time. And the athletic director at Marymount had contacted all the people who lived in this local area and encouraged them to buy tickets to go to the game because almost none of the students were there because of spring break. So when our team got there and walked into the gym, I mean, it was still pretty dark. We got there so early, but you could see that in the stands, it was full of our Gallaudet fans. Everyone who had stood and applauded for us as we walked in, it was so inspiring, and it gave me goosebumps, and it led me to tears. I mean, it was so amazing to see the loyal fans going every single place that we went, whether it be California, there was a full gym there, people coming from the Fremont area to see us, or any other area that we had gone to, even the College of New Jersey. When we got there, and I had asked if we could put tickets on hold because I knew that there were family and friends who'd like to go, and asked them if we could purchase tickets for them. They said, well, you don't even have to worry. We have plenty of seats. We have plenty of tickets. And I thought to myself, they probably don't even realize what they're getting themselves into. But if you read that paper that is printed on the table that talked about the fact that the gym was jam-packed, full of Gallaudet supporters. And a quarter of the fans were behind the College of New Jersey for their fans, but then everything else next to that and in front of us, the entire side was full of Gallaudet fans. At the College of New Jersey that weekend, they actually served as the host for the National NCAA Division III Wrestling Tournament. You had Gallaudet playing the College of New Jersey. They were ranked number 2 in the nation at that time, not in our region. They were ranked 2 in the nation. So our game was sold out, and the wrestling tournament was sold out. But here you had Gallaudet versus College of New Jersey. And in and of itself, that speaks for itself. Let's see. I think that a lot of the comments and antics are now making me think of all the other things that I had not thought about before. But going back to the College of New Jersey, again, we had sold out group, and the wrestling tournament had no money. But when we think about, what had come before us and what's going to come here in the future, you're thinking about the current women's basketball team and how you're going to perform tomorrow and, the time to come. I know that Gallaudet will always accept. Oh, and that brings me back to what I was going to say. The Sweet 16 year, only 48 teams had been a part of the tournament. It wasn't 64, it was only 48. And we did not automatically qualify because of the fact that we had lost in our championship game here at Gallaudet, where we had played St. Mary's 4 times that year. 2 times we played here at home, which we lost both games. One was during the regular season and one happened in the conference championship. We won there 2 times. One was a regular game, season game, and the other was the first round of the NCAA tournament. For the second round, it was at the College of New Jersey, and then the third round was in Massachusetts for the Sweet 16. And if you watch on the tape later on, you're just saying, all right, you're done. No. You know, life is sometimes a bit cruel, I have to say. Life can be cruel, but we could have won. And I know that it's easy to say that now. You know, you look back, 25 years later, I'm saying, oh yeah, we could have, but no, quite honestly, when I think about this group of players, starting as freshmen, we would have been national champions during their career if they had all started as freshmen. We could have. We definitely could have. When I watch, you know, even thinking about NYU winning the national tournament that particular year in 1996 and 97, thinking about who won, and realizing that our team easily could have beat them. We could play just as good. And we had scheduled NYU during that Sweet 16 year, and we lost by, how many points? 25. And I was happy. The reason why I was happy? Yeah, I was happy. It was 100 to 75, I think it was, that they beat us by and won. And it was because every single year, we had at least 4 or 5 players who were on the volleyball team who joined the basketball team. So when we started our basketball season in October, on October 15th, this was permitted by the NCAA. We only had 5 or 6 players to start with, and that was it. We didn't have the 11 or 12 or even 10 until the volleyball season was over and we had players join. I know that oftentimes they would go to the NCAA competition for volleyball, and I was always kind of mixed emotions because I was not wanting to wish anything ill against Gallaudet, but I thought if Gallaudet's volleyball team happens to lose, then by golly that we'll have our players for the beginning of the season, because we only started with 5 or 6 players each season. And that meant that they only had 5 or 6 days of practice before our first game. And that year we actually lost 3 out of the first 4 games. You know, and everybody was moping and sad. You know, we lost 4, but we still had 18 games left to go. You know, we had our regular season games left, and I was trying to get them to be more positive about that, but that really lit a spark. Where's that slide? I know it might be small and hard to read, but you have the triangle, and if you look at all 3 sides of that triangle, if you take out one part of it, you'll not be able to have that flame. It will collapse. And then you have heat and fuel, which is needed for burning. If you're missing one of these elements, you cannot have a fire. And so I had created this image, and I remember I was a little bit down when we lost. I know we played against St. Mary's during that conference tournament, which then meant getting into the NCAA tournament was not a guarantee for us. We lost that automatic bid, and we were then an at-large team. And again, only 48 teams made it to the tournament. That meant that if anybody else, you know, lost their conference tournament, the automatic bid would then go to the top team. So if we could make it with only 48 slots available, we weren't sure whether or not we were going to. But when we looked at the Atlantic region, the College of New Jersey was #1, that's second in the nation. Gallaudet was actually #2 in the region, so that helped. And I remember we got together on that Sunday night, and we were watching to see them draw for who was going to play and whether or not we were going to make it. I remember them all watching, and then they were cheering and saying, yeah, we've made it. And we were playing St. Mary's. And I'm like, we just played St. Mary's, just yesterday, and we're not going to be playing them again. So again, we needed to have some fire. You know, you can see from the video before that we definitely had fire. Even though we were behind at halftime, it was 37-30, and we ended up winning 80-73, which was awesome, right? Good for us. And we dominated. That number 2 team, ranked number 2 in the nation, the College of New Jersey. If you have time to read the printed materials on your table, that was written by a gentleman who wrote for the New Jersey newspaper. His comment for what he says, that he was so impressed with Gallaudet, and he had asked, how is it that you lost to them? You lost those 5 games. How did you ever lose those games before? Because he thought that we actually would have won. You know, and that we would have gone all the way. But sometimes, you know, our dream, that bubble kind of bursts. But we did have that dream year with this dream group of players, and I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you all for your support over the years, especially as my tenure as coach, and even currently now for our Gallaudet teams and our players who are here in the room. Thank you again.
every home game, of course, the stands were totally full, and they were so loud, I could hear them. But away games felt like home because our fans followed us anywhere we went, and that was so inspiring. It was so nice. It was such a nice, tight, supportive community. You know, people would, you know, end up getting, you know, there was no FaceTime, no Instagram during that time. And so, but the community would get together, tell each other, hey, we're going up, and everybody would go to an away game.
Rhonda was usually the last person out of the locker room. And whenever she left the locker room, I mean, she brought this energy with her. And we could go into the court and just hear the fans and see the energy. And I felt like every time we walked in, it was just so inspiring and just brought goosebumps to see the fans and see our community. And I mean, back then, we're not talking about the community that we have now, but I mean, the community back then was, it was amazing. I mean, my time, my family, I mean, seeing the Gallaudet community, seeing the growth of it, and then the growth of the basketball community. I mean, even hearing people came to see because they didn't understand it. Hearing people came just to watch us play. It was that amazing and that inspiring. And just the size of our fans, I mean, everywhere we go, our fans just made it. And made it known that we were here. We thought we were good, but the fans made us, and we could not have done any of it without the fans. So with that, we want to recognize you, those basketball players from Gallaudet, before our time or after. So if you've ever been a basketball player at Gallaudet, please stand. We'd like to recognize our former basketball players. We ride on their shoulders, and they have continued the legacy for our current generations and the generations to come. The fans helped so much. Of course, back then we didn't have social media, and we had to start with our team photographer. We had 3 photographers, led by Wendy, and they were there the entire season. So our team, Brian, I think one of our team photographers.
Hi everybody, do I have your permission to put the book on the chair? All right. How do you want to start? Okay, I'll start. When Toria asked me to give a short talk at our reunion, I was kind of shocked, but I started looking through my 2 big Tupperware boxes full of pictures from that time. And remember, they were all negatives, because remember, we're talking real film back in the 90s. So luckily, we have this book. I could actually look through some of the printed pictures. And I looked through to see some of my favorite pictures from that year. Look at that one. Often during warm-ups, they would get in a huddle, do their huddle little talk, and then break. And I was trying to catch their facial expressions right as they broke from that huddle. And it was hard. I kept missing it just by a minute, and then finally I caught it. I don't know why that exact moment I caught it, but I finally caught it, and that is got in the book. That's one of my favorite pictures.
My name is Wendy Tiefenbacher, and I was teaching documentary photography at Gallaudet, and we picked a project of following the girls' basketball team. And it's truly an honor to be here, but to take a good photograph, you have to be inspired. And you young women who don't look a day older than when I saw you last 25 years ago, you inspired me every single day. Your games were absolutely electrifying, and I have just huge thank you not only to all of you who were but to the best student, one of the best photographers I have ever met, and it's Brian. It just is extraordinary. And I'm eternally grateful because the book wouldn't have happened without his beautiful photographs. And also, of course, to Kitty. She opened up every single door for us. She gave us 100% access, and I'm eternally grateful to you. Thank you.
Next, that's it. If there's not anything else, thank you.
Can I sit on this? Ooh, lot of flashbacks. So many memories. Okay, before I go on to the next thing, I want to wish the Gallaudet women's basketball team a very good luck tomorrow. Be yourself. You will feel the electrifying energy from the fans. We will be there, and if you would like to leave, it is up to you. Just be mindful of time. Okay, next, we are not done yet. I know we are pushing past the end time. If you guys are willing to hang in there, I know you guys have enjoyed it. Okay, so I have to point out a couple of people. Now I'm going to try my best to remember. A few of us couldn't make it, but there are so many who I wish could have been here and who wish they could have been here with you as well. So we're going to share some videos, some tributes that they recorded for us. So if everyone's ready. Now, I'm going to tell you now, the team has not seen these yet, so this is going to be a surprise. All right, please enjoy.
It was really been 25 years? It feels like yesterday. I'm sad I can't be with you today. I've got a family commitment. But I'm thinking of you all today. 25 years ago. And really, I remember during that time, people would talk and say, we have to go to that game.
Ron, one of the boys who played against the girls in the scrimmages.
And I share with my daughter now that love for basketball and I remember all of the talent that you guys had. I hope that will be in the next generation of the women's basketball team. I just want to say congratulations to you guys. Can't believe it's been 25 years. Please enjoy your weekend and thanks everyone.
This is Heidi Ramberger. She's one of the 3 photographers during the Sweet 16. Right, other Heidi, yep. The team gave my photography team such a wonderful opportunity to photograph the sports world, gave us complete access, and that year was amazing to be a part of. This team did a wonderful job. They made it to the NCAA first round tournament, and it was we have such a rich history that we're able to capture and create into a book. I mean, there's so many stories that I can share from about the book and the people that I took photos of. It was such a wonderful experience following the game and the team. Now, I explained this story to my son's girlfriend, talking about my college years. And I said, following sports is really fun. And they actually became a major in tracking sports journalism. And I have to thank my experience and sharing it with the next generation to inspire. And they thank me for influencing them to pursue it and continuing to pursue sports journalism. It's a wonderful story of how my experience can influence the next generation and continue on to today. To So you have given me so many wonderful experiences. Thank you so much to this team. I'll never forget this time. It was one of the best memories for me and will live on in my heart forever. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to follow your team during that year. It was a wonderful experience. So much love for you.
Hey, I'm Eric. So happy that you guys are able to get together for this 25-year reunion. I can tell you, I really enjoyed that time playing with you all. It's really some of my best memories at Gallaudet. I remember Kitty always said, "Stop joking around." And then, and the boys would try to make that sign too. And one thing I'll never forget, to be honestly, that year, or really right before it all, it was an away game. We went, I drove up there, there were two big games, and you remember, I think it was the first or the second round, and it was during warm-ups, and I saw the opposing team had a really good player. You could really see him shine during the warm-ups. I'm like, oh, we have to be against that player. But they sat on the bench the whole time. They sat on the bench, and they were benched the whole game, so I was like, okay, whatever. So then the next day I went to one of my PE classes. It was sports psychology. It was, and Tom Dreher, and what we talked about was choking, and that idea of choking. And I remember thinking, what if Rhonda choked? What if Rhonda choked and couldn't play? And I just remember thinking, no, that wouldn't happen at Gallaudet. So now I'm in Florida. I'm the assistant girls basketball coach for Florida School for the Deaf and Blind. And my kid is a sophomore now, and hopefully they'll play at Gallaudet one day.
This is Garrett Woodson, one of the other men who scrimmaged the women. Hi everyone, my name is Garrett Woodson, and I work at Maryland School for the Deaf as a teacher. I was asked to just make a short video about one of the best women's team in Gallaudet's history and celebrate their 25-year anniversary of this team. And I mean, 25 years, it feels like it was just yesterday, and it's gone by in such a flash. The Sweet 16 team set the highest standard and expectation in basketball history. And they made a huge impact upon deaf community, deaf schools, deaf programs, all over the nation. So I want to congratulate you, the women's basketball team, for setting the highest expectation and the highest standard in competitive sports. And it's something that our young women can look up to and aspire to become. Thank you.
Hi everybody, so glad to help you celebrate the 25-year anniversary. Look at my shirt, I've still got it. I still have it, look what I have it. And I remember still getting M&Ms for Coach Kitty, Hillel, and Ben. I know they all remember that too. Thank you for letting me be part of that team family. And I hope I gave you a hard time when we were practicing. And I hope we made you even better when you were playing your bond has never been equaled. I've never seen a bond like that anywhere else. The way you guys communicated, it really helped change my view of what basketball is. And you know, in my time coaching now, I'll never forget it. I hope this celebration is great, and I hope the new Gallaudet women's team gets into the Sweet 16 too, and maybe even the Final Four.
This is Sarah Burton-Doliak, who is still actually a Gallaudet professor. She has taught for many years, and she is also the softball coach. Was the softball coach. Hello, everyone, especially to our women's basketball players, the Sweet 16 team, and Coach Kitty. My name is Sarah Burton-Doliak. I wish I could be there this evening to help celebrate the Sweet 16 team. I'm there in spirit with you all. I remember when I was back coaching the softball team and one of the PE teachers. I remember that team was so unique. They had such a strong bond. They supported each other so well, and they worked so hard to get into the NCAA tournament. They inspired me very, very much. And I will miss being with you all this evening. Much love.
The Sweet 16 was 25 years ago. I remember each player on that team was just amazing. They were so good. It was so fun watching them. I really enjoyed seeing how they played together. There was something about each one of them, the chemistry and the bond with those girls. There was just something there. It was really special. It was one of the most special teams I've ever seen. And especially, and Kitty too. That Sweet 16 team, it's really a special memory for us, because at that time, we had never met before that Sweet 16. And then the girls made it into the Sweet 16 tournament. The game was up in Massachusetts. So of course, Gallaudet students at that time was right before spring break. And so we were supposed to be working, but of course we were like, come on, we're gonna figure out how we gotta go. And we like all carpooled up all the way to Massachusetts. So she needed a ride, we got in the car, we started talking, got to the tournament, and after the game was over, we rode back, and 25 years later, we're still together. So this 25-year celebration weekend is something that, you know, we started with that tournament too. There was something about that tournament and about everybody from Gallaudet driving up there. It was so exciting. It was a huge event for us. And that I really just, this weekend celebration for you all, huge congratulations to you, and I hope you have a great weekend. I also want to thank the team for giving Gallaudet and the Gallaudet students from that time something to remember. Congratulations, everyone.
Now I have to share something about this real quick. There's a long story. This is my ex-boyfriend through college, and one of our craziest fans. Now I have to mention, when we went to first round, we were looking for a U-Haul to rent, and apparently we found one. And there was actually a few fans who brought a grill. They actually would grill out of the U-Haul while driving to the tournament. You guys remember that? So they'd be in the back of the U-Haul grilling the whole time on the way to the tournament. So So, some of our craziest fans. Hello from New Orleans, Louisiana. I want to say congratulations on the 25th anniversary of the Sweet 16 team. I have so many memories from that time. It's been an amazing journey. And I can't believe 25 years has already gone by. It's feels like just a blink of an eye. So again, congratulations to the team. You have set a mark on Gallaudet University's history that has not been met in many years. I want to share a few memories. Stefan, Tam, and I were some of the craziest fans for the women's team. We even actually got a U-Haul during your tournament. We packed the back of the U-Haul. We had beer, we had grills, we had a couch, and we made the drive to the tournament. And I remember your photographer, Brian, so many memories in that U-Haul and with the team, but we closed the back, and I mean, I can't believe how crazy we were, but we were in the back of that U-Haul grilling the whole time. We loved coming to watch your games and support the team and see your journey. So again, I wish you a very happy celebration and congratulations. This is Terry Giansanti. He was the journalist for the Buffalo Blue. And I actually didn't realize this. I thought he continued to work with Buffalo Blue, and actually he was the journalist for the Buffalo Blue before then, and then I think moved on to admissions and was a recruiter, but was still an avid fan of the basketball team.
Hi, everyone. This is a big, special celebration this weekend, 25 years. The women's basketball team from Gallaudet made it to the Sweet 16. I have such wonderful memories of that time. I followed the women's basketball team for 3 years as a Buff and Blue sports reporter and then editor-in-chief. So once I was the editor-in-chief, I was kind of more of a supervisor. I didn't write any more articles, but I still went to all the women's games because I was a fan. So even when I was the editor, I went to all the games. And I kept writing and following just for the women's team. It was a wonderful team. There was so much talent, so much personality, such a great bond with those girls, great vibes. And you guys really made the Gallaudet community proud. You did very well. Graduated in 1998. And that year, as I followed you, as I went into the Sweet 16, the spring of '99, I wasn't a student anymore, but I worked at Gallaudet that year. I was a recruiter. And I went to the games anyway. I don't know how I did, but I made it. It was such a wonderful time. I went to those tournament games. The community was so proud of you. And I'm so glad you're getting the opportunity to celebrate this wonderful moment back at Gallaudet 25 years later. I wish I was there in person. But I wish you all the best back then and all the best going forward. Congratulations.
You guys getting tired? We still got some life in us? Seems like we're pretty quiet. You guys still alive back there? Now, you guys know DST, right? Everyone knows what DST is, right? We're going to go a little bit. What time is it now? Warren, I am sorry. Thank you for letting us continue. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. So we asked our Bison sponsor, Bison-backed Harley and Randy, to come up, I think. And then we're going to close with some closing remarks.
Casey's partner's older sister. It's a little hard to be here, but I am happy to be here. And I love all of you. We always went to some games. We didn't go to every single game until this team. And then when this team, and when this was the team, we went to every game. So Mary and I would get a group together and we would go to every single game, even the away games. Even the ones where we had no idea where it was. We would get a map and we would print the directions. Yeah, and then after the game, we would work, we would be with Kitty and Randy, and really it was Randy and Kitty talking sports more than us, but they would talk about the moves and talk about, each quarter and what happened and how it went.
I was only the assistant coach for a year.
So we have many stories, but there's one story that I remember, and really once we got to the NCAA double playoffs, we couldn't miss them, of course. So we got a big van. And at that time we had this old van. It was me, Mary, and Daphne Cox, and Terry Fellows, and I think it was maybe 4 or 5 of us. We all got in the van and we drove up to St. Mary's. And the van started breaking down. The brakes weren't going very well. We pulled over to a gas station and we were like, what are we gonna do? There's a game. We don't want to miss the game. How are we gonna get there? The car's breaking down. And luckily we had Mary with us to interpret. Everybody else was dead in the car. And we talked to the gas station people, told them we're trying to get to a game. They said we could leave the van parked at the gas station. And we saw a shuttle bus. It was looked like a Gallaudet shuttle bus. It was small, and there was a driver in there. We all got in the bus, in some strange bus, and we finally made it there. And actually, it was a little better because I was the driver, and so I couldn't talk while I was driving, so I finally got to chat because I wasn't driving anymore. But we did miss the first part of that game, but we made it to the second half, and we won. So I was glad I didn't miss the first part. And then the driver actually came and sat and watched the game with us. And Mary was, sat with them and explained what was going on in ASL. And then a few weeks later, really at that time, after that, everybody knew about Gallaudet. So we got that van fixed, went up to New Jersey for the next game. And then as we would park and we would go get snacks or whatever, we walked into a fast food restaurant, we had Gallaudet shirts on, and people were talking about Gallaudet. They pointed to our shirts and were like, oh, Gallaudet, we know. I didn't really think about that. There was no internet, no social media, but people knew who Gallaudet was because of the team.
Now you may notice I didn't get mentioned in that because I actually wasn't able to go. I was in Switzerland at the time for the Deaf Olympics, and I was the finance officer as well as had some other duties. So, back then, we didn't have iPhones. And, iPhones didn't come around until 2004. So we had either BlackBerry or Wintel, and they didn't work out of the country. So what we did, I wouldn't have access to the stats report until I actually got into the hotel. And the time zone, we'd fax them back and forth. We'd fax back and forth with the time that I would be asleep by the time I get the fax and I'd wake up to it. And so there was many staff from Gallaudet that were also with me. There was
King as well.
Yep, and some of the students, some of the athletes or fans. And so, President King was there. And we would share the good news that we'd pass along the fax report, all the stats from the game. And I think it was definitely a morale boost. And then obviously in the end, it kind of hit us a little bit, made us sad, but we made history nonetheless. So I came to Gallaudet in 2004, so I missed you by just a little bit, but I learned so much through you in the last few weeks, hearing your stories. There are 3 different archive blocks that I've got, 30 archive blocks that I've combed through, and I think there's only 1 or 2 here, but there There's 28 boxes that are still around on campus and have some amazing history. So it's wonderful to share these memories and see all of the amazing things in the archives that we have, the books and the uniforms and all the stats reports and all of the free throw reports. It's wonderful. You guys had a wonderful coach. And thank you you worked very hard on preparing for this event and going through all those archives. Thank you, Robbie.
Hi everyone. Rhonda Jo, hi. I live in Colorado. And there's a deaf group that gets together and plays. It's the Silent Athletic Club, the SAC. And you know, we used to get together and practice, and then join different hearing sports leagues at the rec center. And we wouldn't know exactly what people were saying. If somebody was sick or hurt, we would ask Ron and Joe, and Ron and Joe would join our men's team. And I remember the other boys would be mad because Ron and Joe outplayed them all. She played hard, and honestly, I never saw her play at Gallaudet, but I still feel honored to play with her in those rec sports teams, because I can say I played with Ron and Joe.
I don't think I'm ready to leave.
Luckily, we have the whole weekend with the team.
Yeah, maybe if they're still alive tomorrow, I'm sure we have more planned. I hope you all have enjoyed this evening. It's been such a cherished moment for us.
It would never have happened without the support of some people in departments, so we want to recognize and say thank you to some people. So thank you, Reza and Warren. Thank you so much. We had so much to put up with. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Gallaudet Athletics Department and to Katie. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Gallaudet Archives. The Gallaudet Archives is a huge mess. It's all in boxes because the library's closed, but they got in there. They found that refused to lose shirt. Brian Bippus, thank you so much for uploading the video. And thanks to Gallaudet University for all your support. Thank you to our fans, our families, and our friends. And everyone.
And thank you, all of the audience, for joining us for this evening and those who are watching from afar.
Hi, thanks everyone for coming. I hope you enjoyed tonight. This was such a beautiful program. It's really nice to see all these beautiful memories. I've been working on this for a few months, and I've been going through pictures, and I was so excited. I'm so glad it has finally come to an end. So don't forget, it's not actually over. The women's team from 25 years ago is going to practice. Kitty's going to coach. There's going to be a scrimmage tomorrow at 11 in the morning. That's open to the public. So, and then don't leave after that. Stay. The women's team plays at 1:30 and the men's team plays at 3. And then at the women's game, the Sweet 16 team will be recognized at halftime. And then that night will be dinner at La Cosecha, which is that way, a few blocks down the street. So that is also open to the public, and I hope everybody comes. So you can start with us tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., and I hope you're with us all the way to the evening. So before we leave, I'd like to get a huge group picture with everyone. Do you think that would be possible?